If you are an entrepreneur who is tired of being pulled in a million directions, you're in the right place today. I'm Katie Romagnolo. Welcome back to the show. We are here on every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live with your questions. And today I want to dive into one that I get quite often in working with clients and people that are commenting on the show and in the different live streams that I'm doing on social media. And that is, how do you close more sales without having to put a whole bunch more of time in? There's many things that entrepreneurs do within the day, right? And I'm sure as you've started off with whatever business that you're in currently, you had a passion for the reason why it was something you dived into. A lot of the times, the reason we start up as a self employed person on an entrepreneurship journey is because we've had some sort of a challenge or problem or pain point in our own personal lives or journey at some point that we want to help others not have to go through. So, a lot of the really amazing business ideas that have cultivated and expanded into really amazing customer service experiences and global empires have been through a very specific pain point that happens that someone has figured out how to solve. So, we're going to get into how to close more sales and really from that heart led space. Sales is never, in my personal opinion, about getting people to just buy what you offer because you got to make sure that the link happens first that says, oh, this person actually has a need for the thing that I do or the product that I offer. So many times in this hustle and grind world, we have been programmed to think that you just sell everything to anyone. And I have never understood this perspective. And it's why sales sometimes feels icky as someone that really cares about what others need in their lives. So, if you consider yourself an empath or someone that's really sympathetic to caring about your friends and family, then you're really going to love this because this is all about throwing out the sales script. The thing that you were told to do that feels like, I don't know if those words are authentic to me, and really embodying your own system that works for your unique personality. So, 10 years ago, when I was learning how to really step into my own personal sense of who I was and crafting that unique brand of magic for myself, I realized that I had so much anxiety in sales. And now at that point, I was a busy real estate broker, and sales is kind of a thing that you got to do when your job is selling real estate. So, being really anxious about the sales process was something I had to unpack. And it turns out for myself, it was really a lot of subconscious layers to things that I thought were connected to how I was showing up, that fear of judgment, that fear of, am I going to know all of the answers? Am I going to be confident enough for what this client or customer is expecting if they've got objections and all of that? How am I going to handle that? Really was connected into my past life experience and had nothing to do with the job or with sales. So, as soon as I was able to uncover all of those layers of what was getting in the way of me showing up as a great salesperson, then I was in a stuck point. And I was only able to reach a certain level of success that I wanted for my life and my family because every time I reached that current subconscious cap that said, this is all you do, Katie, because beyond that place, anxiety's up here and that's not good to feel. I was stuck in what I'm going to call the glass ceiling that I self imposed on myself. So, we're going to get into 4 steps today. You're going to want to write notes through this because we are in an absolutely perfect time for this. If you are watching this live stream within 5 days of it airing, there is no coincidence that you are listening to this right now because we are sitting in the absolute perfect energy of new beginnings. This energy is calling you out into the deeper waters for you to learn how to tread, how to get into flow, how to do the thing that you really, really want, that your heart calls you into, but feels like you can't. And I live my life by these natural cycles because I have seen exactly how much incredible success and embodiment of confidence that can come with working this 4 step framework continually in your life. So, we're starting at what I call building your foundation for magic today. And this particular phase is really focused into allowing the light to be turned inward. And now, what that means is when you are igniting the things that you're passionate about in your life, that's going to transfer into being excited about sales. So, when you're excited about sales, it's a lot easier to do it than when you feel like you have to do something that somebody else has told you will work to get money. We kind of got this funny little connection with money in this human experience that can feel a little bit constricting, especially when we don't have enough of it. But also, interestingly enough, as entrepreneurs, when we feel like we're on the verge of actually having everything that we want, the idea feels really expansive and like there's a lot of abundance on the other side of that. That can also contract our energy because we've never maybe been in that position before. And the unknown can feel just as scary, even if it's a good unknown. The mind plays these funny little things on us as we tend to grow as people. And if you're tuning in live for the stream here, thank you so much for being here. We've got the Canadian healing medium, Jeffrey Saunders, with us, who, oh my goodness, I just adore you so much, brother. So thank you so much for being here. And you're doing amazing things in your life and your work. And I'm just so very honored to call you a friend. So if you haven't checked out the Canadian healing medium, then definitely go ahead and do that. He's got a phenomenal YouTube channel as well that is helping people in so many different ways. So, as we move into this foundation for magic today, what you're going to focus on for this week is all about what are the things that actually really, really light you up. And I want you to forget if you've ever done them before, if you think that you're good at them, or if you've got what it takes, or how you're going to get there, or if you have enough money or resources or time or energy or all of the chatter. I want you to like literally close the door on all the chatter. And you're going to actively this week start writing down all of those little ideas. I call these diamonds in the sky, where the night sky is really, really dark during this time period. We're tying this into moon phases. If you look into the sky, you'll know this is your time to build that foundation for magic in your life, in your business, because the sky is really dark. There's not a lot of illumination during our new moon phase, which is right now. And that allows for all of the billions of stars in our universe that we can see with our regular sight here on Earth to start illuminating. If you go out and look up into the sky tonight, you're going to notice that the stars are a lot brighter than maybe you've noticed before. There's no coincidence to that. It's like this internal signal that says to you, what are those ideas that you haven't allowed yourself to see? What are the things that are shining bright in your energy that you kind of need to turn down all of the outside exposure to really connect to? And these things will start to come to you actually quite easily. If you think of this from the perspective as not things you're going to do or have to figure out, or, maybe you've got a really big wish on your heart and an intention for your life and your business, and you can feel it, but you have no idea how you're going to get there. This is allowing you to make connection to that feeling so that you can start to grow those intentions. Everything is energy. So if you've ever walked into a room where someone is like really charismatic and they're kind of working the room and they seem like they've got all the answers and everyone just gravitates to wanting to talk to them, they've just got this glow for whatever reason. That is someone who is connected into their sense of alignment. They are showing up in their confidence. And confidence isn't always about being the extrovert in the room. I know this because I am not an extrovert. I am very much so on the introvert spectrum. But when I'm in alignment, when I'm feeling like I am truly jiving with the event that I'm at or the people that are there, the energy is good. I, am passionate about what the content is at where I am, whether that's a social circle or a networking event or a conference, all of a sudden things shift. And I talk about oftentimes the elephant in the room. And the elephant being our own personal energy, that baggage that we come with that we unintentionally are lugging around in our energy field because we don't realize our past experiences are still causing us to feel like we don't have what it takes. So, this is the time period to just start allowing yourself to connect into really good feeling states. Forget what you got to do to get there. This is not the how stage. You don't start building your foundation thinking, how am I going to put the roof on? We're building from the ground up. You're planting seeds so that you can have this strong connection in the phases to come. So for the next 5 days, you're going to carry around with you maybe a note in your phone, or maybe if you're a paper and pen kind of person just like me, you're going to actually physically write down the ideas that are going to pop into your head this week. Allow yourself just to be when you're driving, maybe. I know for me, it's kind of methodical and my brain gets to just zen out when I'm driving. You listen to great music. All of a sudden, maybe an idea comes about. Ooh, that would be really cool if I did this. Or you know who would be really great at something? Oftentimes, that's a really good hint to something that we are meant to craft in our lives. When we see that somebody else would be really great at something, they're actually giving us this reflection of something that is inside of ourselves to explore. So pay attention to the things that you're drawn to, what you really would love to do if you had the opportunity to have enough time. What are the hobbies that light you up? Allow music to really immerse into everything that you do this week, because we all have our own sense of a style and genre that we like to vibe out to. But music tends to connect deep into our soul because it connects us into our right side of our brain that is less about all of the details and the analytics and more about the passion and the flow and the creative artist in you. So this time period is about creating a connection to good feeling things in your life. Allow the ideas to come up. Now, the next thing that's going to happen next week is you're going to start to get some opportunities to actually put into action the things that you are really interested and passionate about. We are planting seeds this week, so pay attention to how you feel, because when you are planting weeds from all of maybe the things that you're worried about or kind of focusing on those negative things that could be going on legitimately in life, the problem with that at this particular week is that you're planting roots into the things that you don't want. So, your job this week, again, just actively refocus yourself into the things that really make you feel good. Don't worry about the how. You're planting that energy for it to grow. So, next week, as you start to get more of this action oriented phase, if you look up into the sky, you're going to notice that that moon is starting to gain a little bit of light. It's that crescent that you're going to see in the sky. This is your signal to say, okay, it's time to start coming out of my shell a little bit here and allowing for that external light to be turned on a little bit more. The thing that I really love to suggest during this time phrase is this is all about the sales. So, next week is where you are going to allow yourself to move out of your comfort zone a little bit and really make connections to people. So, this could be people that are your dream client, your ideal customer. These could be collaborations, partnerships. This could be just challenging yourself to do some sort of networking online, or even just if you're in hermit mode, getting yourself out there and connecting with community, with your friends. Allow those ideas to start taking root and to connect them with action steps. So, the thing that you were really passionate about, if you were really in a position to do anything that you want, think about one tiny little step that would actually move you towards the thing that you want. If you're looking to close more sales, and this week right now, while you're building the energy around how that would feel really good, you're going to allow yourself next week to take a step towards that and actually connect externally with your dream clients, with those customers. And I want you to do this from the frame of mind that is questions. So, what does your dream client or customer need to know in order for them to connect what you do with what they need? Because this is never about, again, selling everything to anyone and everything and just kind of trying to knock on doors and get. That's not the energy that's actually going to attract more of what you want into your life. It becomes very, when you're a heart led entrepreneur, something that feels icky again. So, allowing yourself to connect to people and coming up with a question that sort of opens the door to what you do. Sales is all about asking the right question. It's kind of like that needle in a haystack, where when you get a really good question that connects with maybe a problem that your person that you know that you can help is going to connect with, they're going to see themselves in that problem through the question that you're asking. It's like allowing for all of those people to raise their hand and say, oh, that is me. That question is something that I actually really resonate with. Do you find yourself someone that struggles in sales? That would be a question that I would absolutely identify with at a certain point in my life that I would raise my hand and say, "Yes, please, I would really love to know the answer, how to feel more confident in sales." Because if you're looking for a needle in a haystack, then you kind of need some feelers out there that are going to actually be like your magnet. You don't want to be searching around in that hay with your fingers that you could get that needle prick at any time that doesn't feel good. That's like the nose, all the nose that we feel as we're searching around. Instead, become magnetic through questions and allow all of that to part and for people to connect with you based on what you actually do. So, getting good at questions is one of the ways that I have really been able to throw out the scripts in my life initially that people had said, this is what you do when you cold call, when you door knock, and all of those things that I just never really connected with. It allowed me to feel confident in what I was doing because I knew that if somebody raised their metaphorical hand to the question that I was asking, that I had a connection with them to help serve something in their life that would be of value. Finding the people that need what you have to offer value is always the intention point, regardless of industry that you're in, that I really want to encourage you to be your guiding light. And remembering that next week, as you think about what is the action step that I can take towards what I really want in my life, notice that what's probably going to happen is it's going to feel like that. Like, no, like at the moment when you're actually going to do the thing that you probably haven't done before that you know that you need to do, it's kind of going to feel like, I don't know, this doesn't feel good. So reminding yourself during that time period of action, of making lists, of checking things off and, making those connections to remind yourself never to calibrate your success on the way that you feel. So that means if it feels nervous the first time you're going to do something, if it feels like, "Ooh, I got a little bit of anxiety going on here. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have the words. I want to do my own live streams. I want to, start connecting, doing my own podcast." And you're going to actually take a step and maybe do that in your own life. Just acknowledge that the feelings may come up around not feeling good enough to do something. And that does not actually indicate if you're going to be successful at it or not. It's a layer that is subconsciously connected, likely to something maybe you've tried before, that gives the same feeling of moving forward in your life in the thing that you're actually focused on now. So, being able to take that calculated step to push through where your current limits are, say yes to the thing that shows up as an opportunity after you've planted the seeds for it. Because the definition of self sabotage is not doing the thing that is really good in your life that you know could move you forward in the direction of your dreams and abundance and more sales and more connections and allowing your family to have the life that they also want in connection with balance with you being in it. Then if you're not doing the thing, it is sabotaging all of that amazingness that you could have for your life. And I speak from this from the queen of self sabotage in my early years. The exact thing that would have allowed me to be who I thought I always wanted to be and have what I wanted to have, I wouldn't do. The exact thing I knew I needed to do, I wouldn't do. And the number one reason I didn't do it was because of my emotions. I felt a certain way the moment I was about to do it. And I thought, being somebody that was really in touch with my intuition, my gut level responses, that, oh, I guess my gut level response is telling me this thing is not good for me because I don't really feel very confident going into this. It's a little bit of a tricky trap trying to navigate when you're very in tune with your heart, what the emotions are trying to tell you. So the framework is why I've developed how to actually step into the magic part of all of your amazing energy and pay attention to that intuition during certain phases, really connecting into things like this week, building that magic, but then also stepping a little bit more into your logical, practical side the following week so that you can implement that magic that's coming forward. That amazing hits of intuition that you got to have this week where they weren't connected to, okay, I know that I've actually got to do something with this. Take that out of your mindset, let the intuition come forward this week, and then step into logic by moving past our human emotions next week. This works. This really works. This is the magic method that has allowed me to have so much success in my own life because it's this beautiful balance of tuning into your intuitive side, your energy of who you are, and then also balancing that out with logical steps, practical business planning, doing the things that we need to do. This is how we're closing more sales in a heart led world, that we are making a difference for people and not just taking advantage of trying to get money. Because there is a balance that needs to occur. In my personal opinion, my goodness, I could go on the most in depth rant right now about how much we need a new level of leader to really step forward in this world to show us how things really need to happen. It's not about telling people what to do. Like, this is the era that we need to cut that out. There is no more telling people and dictating how somebody should live their life and what they need. We need more leaders to step forward with a softer energy, that are in touch with their own heart and emotions and balance and family values, in order to then say, what does the rest of us that are in this world need in order to step forward as your own leader? The time where somebody's at the top here and all of us are at the bottom, like, no more. This is no more. We all need to rise up together to live confidently and authentically in what we are truly meant to do, because all of us have these different paths and plans and things we're excited about. And if you're, I don't know why this comes to mind right now. If you're an accountant who is listening, maybe we've got some accountants that are going to be listening to this on the replay later on. But if you're an accountant and your heart is pulling you into something that really lights you up, that you're passionate about, maybe you would love to do intuitive painting, where you sit down and the thing that you do to cut through all the noise and the stress in your life is actually doing watercolor paintings at the end of your week. But you only have a short amount of time to do that. And that's like, how is that the thing that's going to make you money? I want you to really focus on maybe where it is that you can start to cross over your skills as an accountant. Again, very specific example today. For some reason, that's really coming to mind for someone. All the logical, practical things that you maybe have from that amazing education that's earned by becoming an accountant, and crossing that over. I call this bridging it over into where your passionate side is, and thinking about how you may have a purpose in this life to actually do something that collaborates all of your skills. You don't have to be an artist or an accountant. You can cross mingle those skills. I am not a real estate broker or an intuitive coach. I am both. I cannot separate the two. So when I work with clients in real estate, when I coach agents in real estate, when I work with also amazing spiritual entrepreneurs, you're getting the same person. These skills, they end up showing up in different ways for whoever needs a certain thing in their life, but you cannot separate who you are. It causes this conflict, and really integrating yourself is an important part of life path, and totally getting on into where, again, I could go on a rant about this because I'm really passionate about people stepping into their own personal form of confidence and leadership. So, next week, after you've taken some action on the thing that feels a little bit uncomfortable and you've pushed past that in your life, then what's going to happen is you're going to notice, okay, I know I felt that certain way before I did the thing. And I'm going to encourage you the week after that to focus on, what is it that I need to do to release or resolve or integrate the part of me that felt like I couldn't do that thing? Because there's resolution that wants to happen for you the week after, the phase after. This is our full moon phase that's aligned with the time when this big, beautiful moon in the sky is hugely bright. It is signaling to you the climax of emotions, the climax of energy, the climax of results. And you're either going to celebrate that, oh my goodness, look at how far I've come. I'm so proud of myself for pushing through the things that I thought that I couldn't do. And, I feel really good about this. Or you're going to take it as an opportunity to let go and resolve what you feel is getting in the way in your life. And this is where I really want to encourage you to check out some of our resources in the description here, where I have a ton of different ways to connect into how do you let go and resolve what's coming up that is actually causing the self-confidence, get those self-confidence issues, that self-sabotage that shows up in that phase. And connecting into some of those resources like Moon Logic Magic School, where we have in-depth sessions that you can work through that are really specific for whatever it is that's coming up in your life. Now, also, the week after that, so we've got 4 steps here, 1 week at a time. Starting from now, I want you to focus on this. The last week after that is where you're going to round out everything that's happened for you in the month over the last 4 weeks. And you're going to say, what worked for me? And I want you to make a list on that particular phase, 4 weeks from now. what's working for me, what's not working for me, and really get this laser focused into closing sales, because getting clear and confident in how you're speaking, how you're asking questions, how you're connecting with that dream client or customer is going to be flushed out in terms of adjustments that you might need to make during that last phase. So what worked? When you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, when you did the thing that you needed to do, when you networked, when you made those kind of sales connections, calls and things like that. What worked? And then looking at, equally as important, what did not work? What legitimately did not work over this last entire cycle? And then you're going to look at, okay, where do I change? Where do I need some feedback? Where do I maybe need a mentor? Maybe I need some more information on something. I know that this is really working for me. I want to continue to do some more of these things in my life. So looking at that as an adjustment period to say, okay, I'm going to continue to implement in this next phase of my life, because after that week, we start this cycle all again. You're going to be building your foundation for magic again. I want you to continue to work this. It's not a one time thing, it's cycles within cycles, moving, getting flow, not stopping, but creating momentum and focusing on what you're going to continue to grow in your life based on that list of things that worked. And then after that, on the other side, the things that didn't work, actively looking at where is it that those things need adjustments. Maybe they're things that are draining your energy, that are not actually creating results, that you're not meant to do. Maybe it's areas that you can delegate to other people. Maybe you can hire. Maybe you can do exchange work. Maybe they don't need to be done at all. Like, another thing that I've been a queen of in my past life experience is doing things that didn't need to be done. A lot of the times when we are feeling drained, it's because we are focusing on activities that we are not meant to be focusing on. Maybe somebody else needs to focus on them. They need to get done in your business and your life, or maybe it actually isn't something. And unless you do the work to see where do you need some adjustments or not, we don't know. We don't know. We keep doing the same thing and we wonder why we're not getting the results that we want. I know this because I've done this many a times, not had the results that I wanted, and really learning how to step into natural cycles, aligning with knowing what to do and what not to do each phase has been extraordinarily impactful in my life and my clients' lives. And I know it can be impactful in your life too. So, if you are tuning in live, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comments. And thank you, Jeffrey, for being here with your comments in the background. And thank you for the amens. And I love that so very much. I appreciate your energy and just send it right back to you. And if you are catching this on the replay, go ahead and hit subscribe. I am live here every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, answering your questions. You can check out in the description here the link to actually drop your questions in for me. So if there's something that's going on that you're kind of like, I specifically want to know this thing, then drop it into the questions. You can do this totally anonymously. And that way I will be sure to be speaking right to you in a future episode. So again, if you are watching this on the replay, go ahead and comment and let me know what's going on. Did you find this of value today? Go ahead and hit the like button. It helps this show really get out to the people who are needing this message today or at a future time in their life as well. So I appreciate you all so very much. Stay tuned next week for our next live episode, and wishing you all an amazing magic building phase.